Thank you, Madam Chair. Congressman Zeldin, you're doing a great job. And your opening statement was really good. I really appreciate it. Look, there's been a lot of railing against the hydrocarbon industry. I think the facts are the hydrocarbon industry has lifted more people out of poverty, continues to do so, than any major industry in the world is doing that. But they're also been a major contributor, never gets talked about, with regard to our leadership on global emissions. Leadership. So that, Mr. Zeldin, take a look at that chart. That's been fact-checked to death because the far left hates it. But this is what Senator Ricketts was talking about earlier, about American innovation. This is what Senator Graham was talking about earlier. There's some people who are working hard on reducing emissions, countries, and there are countries that aren't. Senator Graham mentioned China and India. He is exactly right. You never heard this from John Kerry, but the leader in the world in the last 20 years on reducing global emissions was the United States of America, okay? The bad guys, in terms of emission increases, look at China, through the roof. This is a fact. Now, I've asked some of the Biden administration, EPA officials, hey, why do you think this happened? Why do you think we're the leader? It'd be great if you said it, because we are. And they would always come back and say, let's see, EPA regs? Wrong answer. The reason this happened is because of the revolution in the production of natural gas, where we have switched to natural gas as a more cleaner burning source of energy. And when we export natural gas around the world, Mr. Zeldin, what do you think that does to global emissions?
Brings it down, Senator.
It does. And these are facts. So my colleagues, I wish my good friend Senator Whitehouse was here because, they don't like this chart because it goes against their narrative. And the narrative, that is the facts, is that when you have all the above energy, including a big mix of natural gas, you reduce global emissions. So can you commit, to Senator Ricketts' point, to work with us and private industry on innovation that can help power America, power our allies, produce American energy, and at the same time, lower emissions? Can you
yes, Senator, absolutely. American innovation has been critical, and it will be critical going into the future. That's something that President Trump has often spoke of.
Yep.
And I believe it's also one of the reasons why we saw so much support for him in this last November's election.
In Alaska, we are working, and I've talked to President Trump about just recently, we have a very large-scale LNG project that would increase, would reduce our trade deficit by billions by exporting clean-burning Alaska natural gas to our Asian allies, get clean-burning Alaska gas to Americans, and would produce thousands of American jobs. Can I get your commitment to help us work on that large-scale LNG project, which will help continue these global emission reductions?
Senator, I'd welcome the opportunity, if confirmed, to be able to work with you on this and other issues.
Great. I have another map I want to show you. Real quick, you and I talked about this issue of leaded aviation fuel. This is a huge issue to my constituents, what we call avgas. We got it, an extension for Alaska and the FAA, given our pilot safety issues, our aviation safety issues. There was this congressman, I forget his name, from New Jersey. He tried to limit this. My view, he should be more focused on cleaning up New Jersey than worrying about aviation safety in Alaska. Can I get your commitment to work with me on this avgas issue as we discussed in my office?
Senator, as I gave you my commitment then, reiterate it here today for all your constituents to hear. We had a very long, substantive conversation on a lot of topics that you're fighting for Alaska, and I welcome the opportunity to be able to work with you on all of that.
Great, thank you. Let me give you one final map and one final question. It's a little complicated. This is the American Medical Association study on life expectancy changes in America, okay? This was from 1980 to 2014. Purple and dark blue, that's where life expectancy changes happen the most, okay? Up to 13 years. Unfortunately, see yellow, red, certain places there was a life expectancy decrease. That's mostly the opioid epidemic. My state led this. It led it because Alaska Natives, which is where most of these communities are, over about 20% of my population, started at a real low level. Real low, lowest life expectancy. Then what happened on the North Slope, what happened out in the Aleutian Island chain, what happened in the Northwest Arctic, Burrow, resource development happened. Oil and gas happened. Open up fisheries happened. Resource development happened, and people's lives increase on average by up to 13 years. So here's my quick issue. This is a matter of life and death in my state. And the indigenous people in particular, who I care deeply about, have benefited tremendously from resource development. President Biden comes in with his Secretary of Interior. She doesn't listen to Native people. They issued 68 executive orders to shut down resource development in my state, which is going to hurt people, hurt their life expectancy. So when we talk about all this stuff about, oh, we're against resource development, oil and gas, for my state, for my constituents, this is a matter of life and death, and it's brought gymnasiums and health clinics and water and sewer. So can I get your commitment to work with me on these issues, on resource development that benefit the Native people tremendously of my state? The Biden administration is talking about, oh, environmental justice. This is environmental injustice when they shut down Alaska Native communities' opportunity to develop their resources. And, you know, their focus on minority communities, I think that's great, but they've had a big asterisk during 4 years of Biden and Secretary Haaland, not for Alaska Natives. And it's an outrage. This helps my communities, and can I get your commitment to work with the Alaska Native communities, indigenous communities of my state on this issue, on the other issue you talk about, contaminated lands, water and sewer. We have communities that don't have clean water and flush toilets. I really want your help on this. We didn't get the help from the Biden administration. They talked the big game, communities of color. They didn't care about the Alaska Native communities, and I need your help on this.
Understood, Senator. You have my commitment to work with you on this.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.